testing through the whole focal range here to see what's possible and what isn't. Guys, here's another thing that I'd like to do as well with my trucks. I'm not exactly sure how concerned you all are about noise or anything like that, if you like to try and quiet things down a little bit more, but sometimes, like some of these vehicles have a lot of flat open space that essentially reverberates and rebounds a lot of sound, like underneath hoods and stuff like that. So if you go around and you tap on surfaces, you'll find that that echoes quite a bit. However, if you take small little like adhesive pieces of foam like this, you can actually create nice sound dampened, essentially, kind of like a recording studio or in your home or whatever. The more stuff you put on the walls, the less sound that reverberates around. So the inside of this, since it doesn't have an interior or anything like that, it is kind of an echo chamber, especially since it's a diecast. It's got a pretty specific ring to it that I've heard so far. So especially the hood, which is awesome. I love the hood itself, but I figured I might try and quiet that down a little bit by adding some foam. And it has made an incredible difference in that. So what I'm gonna do next is just take some of these foam pieces and probably just stick them right to the inside of where the side panels are, and then maybe save one for up on the top of the roof, just to make sure that kind of quiets down a little bit. So here we go. It's pretty easy. I've already pre-cut these to kind of fit where they're gonna go. And you just peel the back off of that stuff. And you can use tweezers to apply, which I kind of recommend, especially if you're getting into tight spots. You don't want your fingers to get involved. And if you're concerned about sight lines or anything like that, just kind of be mindful wherever you're setting things. Shouldn't have to worry too much about these, because this has a set of rock slider / running boards underneath, which kind of help protect and kind of create a visual block for under, at least on the sides anyway. Let's grab in this next one here. I'm just gonna throw these on real quick. I've already done a couple. I did the hood and underneath where this big flat spot is and back. Like I said, I've noticed this thing is really quite the echo chamber. And most bodies like this are, when there's nothing underneath them. I've done this quite a bit. I did this to my Gen 7, the original Everest body that comes on those things. That thing was incredibly loud. So loud, in fact, and so it didn't take long for me to realize I needed to put some adhesive foam on the inside of it and quiet it down. I think I did this to my D90 as well, my MN111. So this piece I'm going to try and sneak in kind of like up in the middle here, so it might actually do me some good to try and get this connector out of my way. In fact, I could probably leave that out until the electronics show up, if in fact I end up using them. I'm very strongly considering just converting all the lights over to the Panda Hobby functions on stuff, because I don't want active turn signals, which I happen to know this new setup is coming with active turn signals, and I do not want turn signals on this thing. I hope that RC companies very soon realize that we're not liking the turn signal option, and it's just kind of lame. Okay, so as you can see, I put that piece up on the top here, and I've put the two pieces on the side. So let's just kind of give that a little bit of a much more dampened. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. I don't know how many, if any of you guys ever even think about doing anything like that, but I know a lot of folks kind of don't like how loud their RC cars are. And so if you're kind of trying to want to quiet them down, that might be something you want to do. What I don't recommend is taking any kind of lead tape or any kind of weighted tape at all and putting that on any kind of body panel. While it will dampen vibration, because simply by proxy and by weight, that's what it's supposed to do, what that's going to do is probably add a bunch of really awkward weight in places that you don't want, kind of at an extremity or a location on the RC that you don't want it at. So I think using the foam like this is actually a really good idea, and that's probably going to provide a better, longer, more substantial result. Now, if you run your RCs in water or mud or anything like that, that is probably a concern that you might have. However, I want to point out that it's probably no more of any concern than it would be for something like your electronics that you have exposed or anything like that. This stuff is probably also going to rinse out and wash out just as easily as any other part of your car as well. So if you're concerned about any of that, or if you need to feel like you need to have it protected, you can always cover these things with tape as well, just to simply have that dampening piece of material on there is generally good enough to do so. And also too, a piece of tape might keep the dirt out of, you know, the cells of the foam and what have you. Again, if that's something you're concerned about. If not, go ahead and just throw that stuff on there and enjoy a quieter car. I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.